So the giveaway TJ 2001 Sport, I'm excited about it. I wasn't quite in business in 01. This particular TJ was built, but I was in 2003. I remember one of the first TJs I did a big build on. It was a Tomb Raider edition. TJ Rubicon 03 Tomb Raider edition. And we did long arm and super cool build. I've always had a soft spot for TJ, especially LJ, TJ Unlimited, for the purists out there. They're timeless look. They're still like rugged. Still, they got a lot of throwbacks to the ruggedness of the CJ. A little bit more creature comfort. Really not much. But anyway, so we picked up this TJ. The last build we did was kind of like an overland. Not kind of, but more of a heavier overland theme. And I just felt like going back to more of the roots and the rock crawling world. Nothing crazy, but I don't think this one's getting a rooftop tent. So TJ's short wheelbase, one of the biggest mods you can do as far as capability goes is stretch that wheelbase. 100, 101 inch, everybody used to say was the magic wheelbase for them. And I got on Barnes' website, Barnes 4-wheel drive, and I've been buying builder parts for them for years. And they've come out with more and more product, and I noticed that they were advertising that they had parts to stretch a TJ up to 106 inch wheelbase. And when I saw that, I got excited. Barnes' parts, they have a belly up skid plate that incorporate rear long arm mounts in a 4-link configuration that deletes the track bar. And I remember doing that back in the day. That was right up my alley. One of the first things we did was a 1-inch body lift. And I don't body lift anything other than a cheap TJ, or LJ. A new spacer, a new body mount, so it's not a spacer. So one, you're upgrading the body mounts, and then two, you're getting that 1-inch clearance, so you can push that drivetrain, that transfer case up, get more room for a high clearance belly up skid. Space down the fan shroud because the motor tilts down. That's about the only clearance issue. Not that hard to do. So anyway, we're working on that. We had a JK front axle in stock and purchased a JK rear. So kind of excited to do JK axle swap, and the TJ makes it a little bit wider. .44 front and rear, high pinion 44 in the front. We can go to a 32 spline axle shaft in the rear. Lots of chromoly, RCV, whatever you want. Options for the front. But the TJ is just so small and it's kind of narrow, and I didn't have a 44 TJ. I was starting with 30-35 combos, so throw that in the garbage. So anyway, I ordered the Barnes truss kit that also gives you all the bracketry to mount a JK axle into a TJ. So I was like, sign me up for that.
This is mild steel, and the actual tube is mild steel. And so preheating them is getting all the moisture out of the steel for that. But you have to preheat cast to weld mild steel to it. Your weld will actually get into the cast. Otherwise, the sand in the cast will ruin your weld.
Perfect. Ordered that. Nate's been working on that. Should have lots of footage of that. price, I could not believe how well the kit went together. We added some C gussets. I didn't sleeve the tube. I thought that was overkill because I already had the truss. And then, so the next piece we're going to start working on is Barnes has a really cool kit. It's new to them, but it basically moves your coil buckets forward and like track bar mounting. It pushes everything forward so that you can push that front axle forward. So in the past, when you stretch a TJ, you know, pretty much you're just doing it in the rear. With Barnes kit, they have a kit for the front, kit for the rear. So anyway, I think we're one of the first ones maybe to do it. I don't know. From when I talked to Barnes, it sounded like it was pretty new to them. So excited to try that out. And then it also incorporates, or it's not, it doesn't incorporate, but they have another part number that is the front bumper, the steering box mount, because you got to move that steering box forward. Also, it has a provision for a winch plate. It's high clearance, it's tucked up. It's the look I'm looking for as far as the front bumper goes. Super excited about that. I haven't got that yet. When I ordered the belly up skid, the axle truss, and the they were out of stock on the bumper kit, so I haven't ordered that yet. But yeah, I'm excited to try that. But we got to get this front end done. We're doing. I think Nate right now is probably pulling the axle out, the old axle. The shocks are junk. There's basically nothing to be used. I might try and use the coil springs because they look like they're about a 2-inch coil. And my goal is I only want to run like 2.5 inches of lip, high clearance fenders, high hood, and 37. Hoping that is going to be right. I might have to go a little higher. I don't know, but that's kind of the goal. So it feels good to have a plan. It feels good to kind of go back to the roots. It feels good to build this thing for somebody to go play in the rocks, but drive it there. Anyway, that's kind of an update of where we are, where we're headed, and what all the cutting and grinding is about. So stay tuned.